Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is D,
And this is D.
and welcome back to D&T TV.
War.
I fucked that up. It's okay.
It's okay.
We're just going to keep rolling.
We're like, our mind's a little preoccupied today. Because we've come across the fact that we are two able-bodied men, which, like, Monday ran the Army's, like, PT time, like, running, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I was, like, hella impressed. Yesterday, right, did my pull-ups. I, like, got the Army's basic pull-up shit down, and I was, like, feeling it. You know, I was strength training.
Yeah.
Last night, about to go to bed. Weekend tweets, let's go. I'm like, what? And then I look, and he's going, let's go. And he's tweeting about, like when you looked at it, right? Joe Biden tweeted out, Ukraine, like, invades Russia, right? Or whatever the tweet was, right? And underneath it, The Weeknd had just tweeted, let's go, right? Because his new show, like his new like album, was getting a shout out, so everybody thought, like, you know, The Weeknd was hyping up like
Russia invading Ukraine.
So I was like reading that at like 1 a.m. like looking at the Russia invasion because The Weeknd tweeted "Let's go" because of it. That's how I found out Ukraine was being invaded.
Yeah, starting off this episode with a bit of a bang here. So if you live under a fucking rock and you haven't been on social media in the past few days, old Daddy Vladdy decided to put the big boy gloves on and send his troops over into Ukraine to say what's up.
Well, it's a it's a mission.
It's a what did he call it? He didn't call it an invasion. He called it like a secret ops mission or something like that.
Military like I don't even
some
know.
important mission,
Operation or some shit.
But you know.
A bunch of horse shit.
Yeah,
so far, as
of
right now, right, there's 40 people, 40 soldiers dead. And, like, I think I was reading, like, 10 civilians and injured, right?
Yeah, shit is literally... This is... Oh, okay.
I saw a video of a jet flying over, like, a trailer park and shooting missiles at it.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you...
That ain't no secret ops mission,
No.
Putin.
No, that's, like, it's, like... Whoever's like letting shit go has been playing video games for like the last 10 years, and they're like, shit's about to get real. Let's just like fuck them up.
Yeah.
So I was reading today, right? And what Russia was telling, like, he was releasing propaganda into Ukraine, right? And so this whole thing has been like a 5-year escalation between Russia and Ukraine.
Russia and Ukraine have always had like some sort of like
Ukraine used to be a part of Russia, but when the USSR broke up, they were like, "Fuck you, we're on our own shit. We're taking Chernobyl too," which you fucked up. Shit. So, you know, like already a shit ton of people have died. But think about it like this: for people sitting there at home, they're like, "Oh, it's not a big deal." Which, listen, here in like
for now,
right now, let's look. In a month or two, this may blow over, right?
Hopefully.
But as of right now, this is the biggest land invasion in Europe has seen since World War II.
Like, no, like,
right?
I don't think people understand like how fucking crazy this is. This is literally what Hitler did to Poland to start World War II.
You know what he was saying as propaganda, though? He was saying that the Ukrainians were like, they were like, they needed to invade because, you know, if the Ukrainians hate Russians. Like, he was using propaganda as like a background for it. He was like, those fucking Ukrainians that share our borders, man, they just fucking hate us Russians. Like, he was using the same kind of like background Hitler type shit.
I don't think people realize just how small Ukraine is compared to Russia.
I don't think how fucked up you think like Putin is. He was in the KGB. When the Berlin Wall was brought down, he was there burning papers and shit. He was a fucking secret agent for the Soviet Union during communist Russia time as a high-level guy. You think about that. Now that guy's in charge of a fucking country where they train dudes with AKs that you can throw the gun in the ground, in the mud, pick up and shoot people with, right?
Dude, Putin,
it can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Dude, we're probably going to get assassinated because of this, but Putin is a psychopath.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's also, wait until, like, you know, the next guy assassinates him, right?
But, yeah, so Russia invades Ukraine, which is just nuts in this day and age. I was walking to class, okay, and I was sitting there thinking, I was like...
What's the point of school?
No. I was thinking, like... So you know how back in World War II, Hitler decides Germany needs to be bigger We need to invade Poland, invade all of Eastern Europe, and go into Russia.
Yeah.
Okay. In today's day and age, why would any country want to invade another country?
Resources. Russia's not like as big as it is, right?
Okay.
It's Iceland. It's literally a snow-covered wilderness. Like, Russia's like a big place. It's got oil. It's got resources, right? But it needs other shit, right?
Okay.
Ukraine used to be Russian.
You know what you do? You go, hey, let's trade.
Okay, but let's take this, for example. You remember when Texas left America? And we were like, fuck nah. The South, they left, right?
When like in
Civil War, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck did we do? Did we not go to war with those people and be like, bitch, you can't leave?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Russia's doing this, but it's like after like 30 years. Okay. You see what I mean in that?
Yeah.
So, okay, but don't get me wrong. These people, it's not like they're fighting over the dumbest fucking thing to fight over, owning a human being. This is over fucking land and resources now.
It all boils literally every war ever in the history of the planet.
It's money, man.
It boils down to money.
And resources.
Literally, money. Well, resources is money. You have more resources, you can produce more things. You have more money.
Okay. Do you know how much it is like to produce like a soldier, like an army soldier? It's like $50,000. Like
it's
for
retarded.
like per person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like U.S. Army soldier, right? That's like a lot of money for like any fucking people. And think we're like supposed to be top dog in the military, which we're not. When you look at that shit, right? We may be like China's catching up to us in the Navy. I think they overpassed us in the Navy this year, didn't they?
I have no fucking clue.
Isn't that scary as shit to think about?
What I'm telling you, what, dude? God forbid World War III happens, which I don't know.
Listen,
like
man, we could be just hyping this shit up, and this could
I'm seeing a
age in
pattern
like
here.
6
Okay,
months,
I'm seeing
right?
a pattern here. The first two world wars started in Europe. Okay, and so, the U.S. only got involved when they should have, when the U.S. was threatened. Okay. I know the U.S. and Russia haven't been the best of buddies over the years, but like, if Russia just like, picks on like Europe,
Yeah.
and just like, fucks with like Ukraine and all them, and they don't touch the U.S., in my opinion, I don't see there is any reason we should get involved.
Okay. So here's my thing.
Unless there's
right?
like an American embassy in those countries that they specifically target, and Americans like die, then we go fuck them up. But
Here's my thing, though, is that's like an ally, okay? That's like, let's say we're getting fucking invaded by Canada, and England's like, nah, fuck you. We're not going to help you. Fuck you.
okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that's what, okay, it's not like, we can't just sit there. They're in like a part of an alliance with us. Russia was a part of that alliance, too, but they're still like, nah, I think we're just going to fuck you up, Ukraine.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
I saw a tweet where Ukraine cut all diplomatic ties with Russia.
Oh, I saw Ukraine posting memes about Russia.
Dude,
too.
literally, this is like, we can't make this shit up. Whoever is in charge of the verified Ukrainian Twitter is straight up posting memes.
Like before they imagine like you're getting invaded and like there's and you're just posting memes in your like basement behind 3 blast doors. You're like, shit, fucking Russians are coming. I gotta post these last fucking memes.
Yeah.
Gotta get them out there.
And no, we were talking earlier, and it's like, back when the Vietnam War happened, it was the first ever war to be, quote, televised. But now, where literally every person, like I would say 70, like a large majority of the world population has access to the internet and a cell phone.
Okay, but do you know how much shit is being stopped by like Russia? Like from getting out?
I don't doubt it.
Dude,
but
they
like,
can, dude.
But the little shit that does get out, I'm telling you, in the next few weeks, we are going to see some fucking crazy videos.
Well, okay,
like that one video you were just talking about earlier, a fucking fighter jet shooting missiles at some random trailer park.
No, it was like, okay, there's these kids sitting at a window, right? Mm-hmm. And they're just sitting there.
I saw the video.
Yeah, and they're a fucking jet. It looks like GTA 5 type shit. There's a jet flying in and it's shooting missiles at a fucking trailer park, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw one and it was over by near Chernobyl, right? Mm-hmm. Fucking Ukraine owns Chernobyl. Why the fuck does Russia need that? I don't know. It looks like Fallout 4 over there, right?
Yeah.
It's a big-ass wasteland with radioactive 2-ass deer, right? Mm-hmm. Why the fuck does Russia need that? I don't know, but they were launching missiles over there.
Can't be anything good.
You tell me Ukrainians aren't like training rabid, like fucking radioactive dogs to go over after the Russians or some shit?
Dude. It'd be like, I don't know. But like,
it's crazy shit, man.
Dude, like, there will be some wild videos pop up over the next few weeks.
Okay, but arguably, right? Okay, if you look at, like, our president, right? We were talking about, like, Trump, right? Mm-hmm. Trump would have probably taken a couple more steps toward, like, abrasive action if he would have, like, been in the situation Biden has. Now, Biden, like, sitting down, he's like, okay, listen, I don't appreciate, any of the shit Russia does. America will respond, right? But like you said, he's taking it in action of, I don't fucking need to belong in Russia.
Yeah.
I don't fucking need to send, 30,000 American soldiers over there to do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
for now.
Yeah, for right now. But at the same time, you think about it, that means that you're letting a whole fucking country, right, which we're supposed to represent freedom, right? You're letting a fucking country get invaded by another country and then like put under their laws, right?
Dude,
you can't tell me that shit's not wrong. We're supposed to be like top dog here. We got to be like that shit.
I'm telling you right now, as soon as word gets out that a singular American has died at the hands of a Russian like soldier, it's fucking game over, dude. Like, if that happens, I pray that World War III doesn't break out. But if that happens, literally all of Republican America will be in a frenzy, like just begging Biden to send people over there.
Okay, but like when you look at like World War I and World War II and shit, right? What kind of shit do you think could de-escalate that shit comparatively to now? It wasn't like, okay, World War I started because an assassination happened, right? Mm-hmm. Look at the shit starting now. We got a crazy dude in charge of a fucking crazy Russian fox riding bears.
I saw a video. I saw another video where literally Russian police were arresting like people protesting the invasion in Russia. Like, they were arresting Russian citizens for protesting against the war.
Yeah. Okay, Russia also has a thing called the mob, which we, like, make fun of in movies and shit. We're like, oh, this is cute. Like, some dumbass like, right now, some dumbass is watching this YouTube video or listening to this podcast, and he's like, this little white kid doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm like, I'm not a fucking dumbass. That's a real fucking organization that people shut that shit down.
Oh yeah.
You talk against a fucking country like Russia, they shoot your ass down. It's not America and you can like speak out against that shit. If I said the same shit right now on this podcast
if we were Russians and we had this podcast in Russia, it would get taken down immediately.
Well, it wouldn't get taken down immediately, but I get a nice letter on my mail saying if I do that shit again, then my head be on an AK.
Yeah.
But that's about it, man. I mean, it's not like it's everybody's going to sit here and joke around about it, right?
I'm telling you.
But that's real shit.
I'm telling you, there is a good chance that shit gets real.
But moving past that, man, if we do like ever like hop in that shit, listen, we're both 19-year-old dudes and we work out all the time.
We are the prime soldier.
Well, you know what's crazy to me is that, like, when you say that, is 25 is like the peak male performance, right?
I think like male performance peaks out at like 25 to like 28, like right in there.
Yeah, and so like sometimes I'll be like lifting and shit. Like today, right? I just talked about this was the first time I hit the like Army PT run time, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like feeling hot shit about myself, right? But when I was sitting there, I was like, you know, what happens if like by July when we go to the beach, right? And I started going a little crazy, you know? I'm like, you know, if I just can keep this up, you know, I just keep working out, then I could just cut this down to a 13-minute run time, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how you start going a little crazy at the gym,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But once you start doing that shit, that's how you fall in love with the gym too, man.
Yeah, and then, you know, July, August rolls around, you get a phone call from your local Army Reserve, and you're like, hey,
Ayo!
hey, it's time, dude. You've been selected.
We just got a letter. You just got a letter.
Wonder who it's from. Draft.
Dude, I can't wait. I actually
For the
don't-
draft?
No, I don't want to go to the war.
neither.
Well, but I wouldn't mind to like do some like I wouldn't mind to fly like helicopters and shit. Like I've talked about this before. I don't know if I wouldn't mind to like fly a helicopter or something for the military. So if we did go to the war, I wouldn't mind to like fly shit. But
But there's always the possibility of you getting shot down.
and then replaying and
which would be terrifying.
yeah. But here's my thing: if I'm flying like a helicopter, right? Instead of like I wouldn't fly a plane because planes you're going to fucking die probably. A helicopter you got a better chance of surviving in likelihood, in my opinion. Like
That's probably accurate.
because okay, you're low to the ground, you're not going as fast, right? And if I get hit, right, and I'm spinning out, I still got those blades, right?
Yeah.
A plane is it pulling back on the air, and because the engines are tilted up, right? A helicopter is still going to give me some downward draft if it's going down, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a slower fall.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm probably going to have a better chance to survive and shit, especially if it's like in a different type of helicopter,
Yeah.
right? It, you know, this isn't fucking, you know, don't get me wrong, shit happens all the time, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of situations where there's going to be like man flying shit in a World War III situation, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's going to, don't get me wrong, there's going to be like if there ever gets to the point where Russia keeps invading like Europe and they do have to have like a land scale invasion, like we're talking like COD 63 level invasion shit, you know, where we're riding helicopters in and shit, that's when like you would get shot down. But most of the time, like, right, a lot of shit's like unmanned drones.
like if
Like a Predator
if
drone.
serious war ever breaks out, there will be I feel like there will be very, very
Like
limited like boots on the ground combat. It's all going to be like fought with like, you know, missiles and drones and
if there is
air
it's
raids
going
and
to
shit
be
like that.
after like, you know, you get carpet bombed and then they roll in the military in trucks and tanks and shit.
Yeah.
And you know, but still, I don't see a lot of like a large scale aerial assault happening anytime soon. Like if you think of like okay, Russia for instance, like one of the things they did over Ukrainians like capital, right? They fucking dropped paratroopers in on the capital. And
I
shit,
saw
right?
a TikTok. I'm not kidding. I saw a TikTok of this Russian dude paratrooping onto some field, and he had like other dudes with him.
Hoorah, dude!
No, it wasn't hoorah. It was like Russian. Yeah, it was like some Russian accent. I was like, this is the shit we're going to be seeing.
Well, but here's my thing. Imagine being like how scared like being a Russian is in this shit, right? Like we talk about getting deployed to go fight Russians. Imagine being a dude in Russia and you're like, hey, you're going to go invade this little fuck's home next door, right? Mm-hmm. And here's your weapon. Here's your armor. It was made 40 years ago. It's rusted all over the place. The guns may work. Right?
The guns
This AK
might work.
This AK, I'm pretty sure that's the magazine that's full, but if not, it's the one that's third full. So
Yeah.
you'll kill at least one guy, you know?
Yeah.
That's what they're telling them, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Enemy at the Gates. Have you ever seen that?
I've never seen that movie.
Okay, it's a like a Russian sniper movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it starts off and it's the Battle of Stalingrad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is they take a bunch of new Russian young recruits that are our age, right?
Yeah.
And they line them up in a line and they're like, okay, they give the first guy a rifle and the second guy a spare ammo clip. That's 5 bullets. And then they line them up and they make them charge a German machine gun. And then the sergeants are standing behind them, like the Russians, right, with Thompsons. So if they try to turn around and run, they get mowed down by the other Russians, right? So they're just basically using soldiers to push the machine gun and let them run out of ammo.
Bruh.
But instead, the movie, the guy is like a trained sniper, so he kills all the guys, you know, classic movie scene, right?
Yeah.
Also, one of the best sniper movies of all time. Go watch that. But moving past that, man, that's some real shit. Like, they're going to take people and they're just going to send them in hundreds of droves with AKs through the woods and into shit.
I'm telling you, dude. I pray for any Russian military that ends up wandering through this state of old West Virginia.
Have you ever seen Red Dawn?
I'm telling you, dude. Russian soldiers are going to be wandering through the Allegheny Forest up here in the mountains, okay? It's going to be like it's going to be pitch black at night, okay? And then all of a sudden, they're going to start hearing ominous banjo noises, okay?
Ding, 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 ding. It's
Yeah,
like the
and
dueling
then
banjos.
they'll hear that, and that's the last thing they will ever hear. Like, literally, shirtless hillbillies wearing blue jean overalls will pop out of the forest.
Squeal like a pig, boy.
With a 12-gauge shotgun and a MP45 on their hip and just start hammering it down, dude.
Oh, see,
I feel like that's another thing that other countries don't realize is just how many people in America own guns.
Do you know what, I think it was like Japan.
I'm pretty sure there's more guns in America than there are people.
Okay, do you know what, I think it was like Japan or China that said there's like more guns in America than there are blades of grass, right? You know how scary that's funny as shit to say, but right? When I think about it, right? There is like 4 guns to a person in my household, right?
Yeah, there's probably 8 to a person.
There's 6 people in my household.
Not to mention boodles of ammo.
Like my dad's like kind of a little batshit crazy. Like his idea is
like the doomsday prepper vibes. Yeah, mine is too.
And so like my dad's like, dude, one time I came downstairs, right? And I kid you not, my dad was like duct taping magazines together, right? And like
creating like double clips.
No. Like, have you ever seen like what like a quad magazine? So it's like 4 magazines that kind of looked like a swastika, like put together.
Yeah. So like when you reload, you just go.
So it was 120 bullets, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know how cool it is to shoot something that does that? You know how cool it is to like wrap magazines together and then shoot one, drop it, and change it back?
Literally reload in less than 2 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, so that's why I kind of love shooting. Shooting is an expensive thing, though. Because,
Sure is.
I was like, one time I was like, dude, you know how badass? My dad doesn't have any kind of fucking thermal sights. You know how much a thermal sight is?
It's probably like $2,000.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Right? It's like, I'm broke. What the fuck is this? Why does my dad do this, right?
Yeah.
But my dad gets like every other paycheck. I think my dad spends like 20% of it on ammunition, right?
I mean,
you got to have a hobby, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
but like the American militias that will arise if the United States is invaded will be insane.
Okay, I think we talked about this before, but Red Dawn. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Okay, so a bunch of it's like if we were in high school and Russia invaded in the 80s and basically like 12 high school kids hiding out in the woods and Russia takes over a hometown. And what happens is Russia invades by the air and takes over like 5 states. And so America's fighting like 2 states over. So this state they're in, and I think it's like Colorado or something, is completely under control, right?
Yeah.
So there's just high school kids hiding out in the woods with like old shit and killing the Russians and shit,
Yeah.
And it's a crazy movie, right? You need to go watch that. They made a new one with like Chris Hemsworth. He's good looking, but he doesn't do the job in the movie, right?
Really?
Yeah, I know it sucks, dude.
Yeah.
But go watch that movie. It's like what you would think, what would happen. It's like some hillbilly type shit. These kids with like little rifles picking off like Russians in the woods.
I'm telling you, dude. The banjo pickers of the Allegheny Mountains will be the Viet Cong of America.
Well, I mean, like, oh shit. You know what the movie you're basing that off of? It's oh man, what is Deliverance? That's the movie they base that off of.
Really?
Okay, so you know the term "squeal like a pig boy."
Like you just said it. That's probably the first time I've heard it.
Okay, so so the dueling banjos thing, it's based off a movie where these 3 guys get an idea they're going to go canoe down this river, and it's at a town that's about to get flooded, like Summersville. Imagine, that used to be a town before it was flooded into a lake.
Yeah.
Okay, so think back then, right? You're about to be that. Before it, there's a small river. So these guys get an idea they're going to go down canoeing down this river, right? But it's in a Georgia, like, bumfuck nowhere, right? So it's a bunch of hillbillies on the woods. And at one point, this fat guy, one of the canoeer guys, gets to go out. and this hillbilly type dude rapes him, and he's like, "Squeal like big boy." Like, that's what they're saying.
Oh my God.
him. And it's it's one of like the stud older movie actors in the movie. It's the older generation that listens to this is going to shit on me, but like they're like going down river trying to get away from these hillbillies hunting them, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like the whole town's after him on the river. So imagine like that in like modern day like Russian times, like you were saying. Yeah. You're like some poor Russian fuck. You're flying out of the freaking air from a big ass airplane that dropped you off from a fucking snow Antarctica looking place where tigers are.
Yeah.
Fucking tigers. And now you got to deal with hillbillies with shotguns.
Yeah. Good luck if they make it to Texas.
Oh yeah, dude.
Or Florida.
Like, West Virginia is
or
like... Or
just the South in general.
For people that don't fucking know what West Virginia is, it's like the weird cousin of Texas, but there's just mountains instead of, like, you know, cactuses, I guess.
That's a fair assumption.
Yeah, I mean, we're like they, like, when we did our DECA shit, I did an international, like, business competitions in high school and shit, and they put us on the same bus as Texas because they were like, well, they knew we'd get along. They're like, it's the same people.
Usually, most people here do get along with native Texans.
Yeah, they did call us like shitbirds, and we had to switch buses halfway through the week. But you know, that was like, I kid you not, they called one of our people like shitbirds, and like the West Virginia DECA leader, guy named fucking Fitz, and he wore fucking Elvis Presley shoes, like the gold ones.
Oh my God!
And he called us into a meeting after one of the people got called like a shitbird. And we were in Atlanta, Georgia for this international business competition, right?
Yeah.
And he's got like the whole like West Virginia kids for business and shit. He's like, listen, I will not get down here and get called shitbird by some Texans, right? And everybody was like, yeah! You know,
raising hell.
But here's my thing now. It's time to stop fighting each other, right? State by state level shit. Because now I got to fight some Russians, right? And I don't need to worry about some guy in Detroit hating me now. Yeah. I need to worry about some fucking, you know, poor bastard that just got sent into like a Europe country. You know, I got to worry about the Russian fucks coming down my door.
Yeah.
I do feel sorry for a bunch of like the poor Yuri over there that like
poor
got
Ukrainians.
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of sad, man. Like that video of like it's like a 12-year-old watching a jet like blow up like
part of his neighborhood.
Yeah, man,
it's terrible.
Yeah, and like you got to think from that Russian's point of view, right? Let's imagine in his head he's a normal human being because from everybody's perspective, right? They're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, if we were like in a place where we had like a president and we're like, okay, let's invade Mexico, right? Mm-hmm. There would be some of us be like, hell yeah, brother, let's invade Mexico. And then there'd be like others people that would be like, you know, man, we can't be fighting the fucking Mexicans, man. You know, it's like, that's some bullshit, bro. And then, you know, there'd be like some sane people like, what the fuck are we doing right now?
Yeah, like they're people too.
Yeah, exactly. Like what the fuck?
What did they ever do?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
You can't blame the present day Mexicans for their ancestors' wrongdoings.
Exactly, man. Like what the fuck? There's no reason for us to invade anybody or anything right now without like handling our own shit, right? Mm-hmm. You can't tell me like sitting in Russia, right? Putin's sitting there and he's like, everything's fine here. Why don't I fuck up another country, right? So that's my thing. Any president or anybody that decides they're going to war, right? The first fucking thing you should do maybe is fix up the own shit in your own yard, right? Because like my thing is, right, before I start like pissing on my neighbor's lawn, right, I'm going to make sure my fucking lawn's like cut, right?
Pristine, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm making fun of you for having like a shitty room and mine looks like a pigsty, which 9 out of 10 of times, it's a little shittier room, but fuck you. You know, anyways, I should probably clean my own shit.
It's like the old saying goes, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Exactly, man. So why the fuck would I want to invade another country?
Yeah.
You're telling me that, okay, so if Russia takes over this whole fucking country, right? You know what?
Okay, if that happens, first of all, that is nuts.
You got to think what he does, though. Okay, when he does take over it, Berlin Wall 2.0 around Ukraine, right? The borders. Then all the people there are going to get like a soldier with them, you know?
If the people there, if they don't escape before it's taken over, they'll either be murdered or forced to assimilate.
Dude, there's not like, yeah, you join the Russian thing. Like, okay.
There's no saying no. Like, if you say no, you will die.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you speak out, right, you get thrown in the gulag for 30 years, if not, or you die, right?
Yep.
They're like, okay, listen, you can join Mother Russia. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some cases where there's, like, some people, they're like, hey, boss, where are we sending these people? And they're like, oh, we're going to keep all the, you know, people in their own houses and shit like that. We're going to keep you here. But here in 2 months' time, when, you know, shit's real, they're going to start being like, listen, you're a Russian now, so this is how you're going to act. This is how you're going to do. If not, all you and everyone you love is gone. Your whole fucking family. Think about that. That's not how they get you. Like, that's how they get you in, like, North Korea and shit.
Yeah.
They take your whole fucking family.
Yeah.
Like, a whole fucking family. I was watching a TED Talk about this girl that had her family snuggled her out of North Korea because they were friends with North Korean guards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And later she went back and got her family from North Korea and came over the border a second time. Like, this is a
Holy
bad
shit.
bitch, right?
Yeah.
She escaped and then escaped through China, which China, if you find out you're Korean, they throw you back to North Korea in China. If you escape.
Dude, it's like...
Doesn't fucking matter.
It's oh god, it was like an act that was passed back in the Civil War. Like if
slave,
if plantation owners found an escaped slave, they fucking send you right back.
Well, so she was talking about in her thing, right? So she goes to China, escapes there, escapes into South Korea, has fake Chinese passports, right? And they're like, okay, these are fake. Where are you from? She's like, North Korea. Shows them her real ID, and they're like, these don't look real. Like, they're saying they don't believe her that she actually escaped North Korea.
Oh,
so once
yeah.
they actually do find out, they're like, okay, so what the fuck do we do? So they they couldn't legally do anything because it's North Korean government. But
yeah.
they
Technically, she is North Korea's property.
basically she like hitched a way back into China and then got her family out again through North Korea. But one of the things she talked about was one of her like dad's best friends at work or whatever. He knew a guy that, like, one of the guys said something to his other best friend at work about, like, how this was unfair. It was an unfair system. He said unfair system, right? And his whole fucking family was gone.
Dude spoke out for 2 seconds.
And to his best friend, imagine me, I'm your fucking roommate, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been with you for years. And
Yeah.
then later on, 6 years down the road, we're working in an office job together. And I'm like, this system's a little unfair, man.
And I go and tell the boss, and he's like, "You're fired."
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I wish we
Not to mention your family's gone.
I wish we got paid a little more.
Yeah.
I'm fucking dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
My whole family gone.
That's...
Dude, that's some scary shit, you know? And, you know, my thing is, like, we try to... Okay, don't get me wrong. We're all brainwashed to believe in America, man. Fuck yeah, America. Number one. Don't get me wrong. I'm an American.
Yeah.
I'm from West Virginia. I'm a Republican.
Yeah.
Dude, I like America.
Yeah. I mean...
But I'm not naive.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing comes to mind like, don't get me wrong.
Nothing hits home like old Motown.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe, nah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like...
Because, like, anytime I go home, like, over Christmas break, it was fun being home, but after, like, 2 weeks, it's like...
I feel like I'm wasting my life, almost. Like, not, like, going to college or doing something. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, like, shitting on anyone. I just mean, like... Because, like, back home, I don't have, like, a job or anything either. Other than, like working out on my podcast, right? And seeing my buddies. Yeah. I'm like... Oh, life's great. Let me spend money, you know? And then I'm like, I get back to college and I'm like, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm like, you know, I have like, oh, there's a dog in the next fucking place over there. Is that a cat? I don't know. We're going to go steal that after this show.
Sounds like a plan.
We're next to the fucking college park or dumbass University Park or something.
Something like that. U-Place, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
University Place.
Well, I saw some chick and she was like hanging up like her window, like a blanket in her window or something too, because you know there's like two dudes staring out like a window, but she's like in an opposite like angle. And I could see her giving like a dirty look at me. I was like, oh, I was like, I'm sorry, I like to do my little show here, man. No. Do you think anybody would ever like shit on us for like trying to do a show in here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you guys doing in here?
Probably.
It's like some like.
It's like it's just something they've never seen before, so they just automatically think it's weird.
Yeah, you know, that's like one of the things. Someone's like, when I like do like I was doing like polls in my head, kind of. I was like, when you think of like normal jobs, right? You know, like I kind of want to do some like radio speaking, you know, communication wise, right? That's not like an ordinary job you hear a lot of people have, but it's a job you hear all the time. When you think about it, you're like, dude, I hear like shit with communication all the time, but you just don't fucking realize
There's hella podcasts that make a lot of money.
Yeah, and I'm not even trying to make like go
uber viral.
Dude, no.
Just trying to sustain myself.
You know how cool it'd be just to have like a fan base that just like goes back and forth. Like my thing is like I just want to help like other people like so I can be like so you don't have like we talked about 300 like slugs, you know, like old me's, right? You don't want old me's around in life, right? You just want like a bunch of cool people that are ready to go to war with Russia. You know, you got to have a bunch of trained American badasses. If we all work out, right, we all do some meditation, maybe we won't have to go to war.
The DNT militia. That's what our fan base needs to be.
Dude, if we do go to war though, we're taking some sweet W Barstool posts and we're like getting like
we're
merching our helicopter.
We're taking a WVU flag and we're gonna fly that bitch out the back of a helicopter.
I'm gonna fly like underneath like the helicopter, like underneath like where it sets and shit. If I'm flying like I don't know,
I'm gonna hang off the landing bar of a helicopter with a flag on my back.
I showed you the movie, you know, oh my fucking Apocalypse Now, the helicopter scene.
Yep.
If you guys haven't watched that, watch that. It's Ride of the Valkyries. Anyways, it's like a Vietnam movie where they open up and they're like blowing up a beach in like Vietnam, right? I want to do that to my helicopter. I want to just be playing like, you know, now music and just being like,
Fortunate Son blaring,
yeah,
which is
anti-war song.
Yeah,
but it is like a national pride song now.
Yeah, but most people don't realize that it was anti-war.
Same with Into the Jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you mean Welcome to the Jungle?
No, Into the Jungle, their other song.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Welcome to the Jungle.
No. They have another song. It's Run Into the Jungle. It's really good.
Is it another like Vietnam type song?
Yeah, it's by Creedence Clearwater.
TCR?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like I think it's a different album though, but it's really good. I got like a couple songs that like Vietnam type music too, because some of that rock I really like fuck with. Like there's a song and they play it. I think it's from oh shit, I'm gonna think about it, but it's like an all black band and it's like one of the popular Vietnam songs and it's got like a rock and roll part. I'll show you here. Like I'll look it up here later and I'll show you. Fuck it. But like music during that shit, when it's like getting played around the war and shit, you got to think those people are like sent back like M16s in hand. They're going to be like, I'm going to sit here with this guitar and make this awesome fucking song.
Yeah.
I just roasted this Viet Cong guy alive.
Dude, could you imagine like fighting the Russians in America with just like fucking, I don't know, NBA Youngboy in your ears?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you hear ding 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 ding, like you're walking down. Like imagine you and the Russian boys are walking down the road, West Virginia night. It's a quiet woody night. You hear ding 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 ding,
and then 3 seconds later you're shaking hands with Tupac.
Yeah, there you go. you wake up in a Juice WRLD concert, right?
Yeah,
dude. No, that's in front row. Jesus Christ is, you know, he's playing lead singer in a Leonard Skinner concert, and I'm hammered drunk in the first row. That's what heaven looks like to me. If you guys haven't seen that movie yet, Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
Listen, I know I just gave like 5 of you guys like some like 5 movie suggestions, but if you haven't seen any of those, then
the fuck you doing?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a big like movie guy. I know I've said it before. I wouldn't be here without 1, 2, 3 movies, right?
Yeah, facts.
I've gotten all of my culture. Half
the illegally
my comedy.
streamed website of the people.
Well, how many movies did you sit there and you'd be like, "That's a cool guy. I'm going to absorb his personality a little bit." You know what I mean? Be like, "That's a cool saying," right?
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite things is "I aim to please," right? That's one of my favorite sayings. You know what I got that from? A video game like 12 years ago, right? And I didn't remember that until I played that over, like, in college. I was, like, replaying old video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy shit, this is something I've said, like, forever. And I've just built it into my core because I thought it sounded cool.
You have a lot of those
game.
moments at sometime where it could be literally anything, and you'll be like, oh, shit, that's where that came from.
Dude, yeah, you're like, my dad said that? Or my mom said that? That's something I remember?
Yeah.
Just something cool someone said to you. Like, that's another thing. Like, half the time I do a shit ton of research on shit. Like, I'll read and I'll, like, listen to podcasts and a bunch of different shit before I talk to shit on here, right? But I'll never, like, sit there and spew out the same shit someone else did, right? Like, I had to look before we talked about Unity Ukraine shit. I looked at, like, 8 different websites, right? Because I don't want to mouth off the same shit that someone else is telling you, right?
Yeah.
I sat there and read for like 3 hours before I fucking did anything. Because this shit, number one, this shit is happening to us, right? Number two, it's interesting. And number three, if I want to say anything, I want to be myself. And I don't want to be some repetitive, like, bullshittery to you. Like,
I just want to appreciate how I think people, like, overlook how much slang has changed. Or how much, like, people talk has changed. Like, let me give you a good example. So, basically what I'm trying to say is...
Like, if me and the boys...
The way people speak nowadays is dramatically different than even in the 80s. Could you imagine, okay? Could you imagine you walk up to some random person in, like, 1981, okay? And you look at him, you go, bitches be trifling. They would look at you like, what, did you just cast a spell?
Nah.
And you're at somebody's house, okay? And somebody's mom cooks you a nice meal and you eat it and you look at her and go, this shit bussin'. She'd like, what the fuck did you just say?
Miss J, this shit bustin', right? This shit bustin' respectfully though, right?
She look at you like you just like took acid or something.
Yeah. She would, are you on that marijuana? You know, that's the type of beat. Actually, it's the 80s. They knew about that shit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Woodstock already happened. Mm-hmm. Bob Dylan, big thing still.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry about it. The 80s was where cocaine got
Bob
really...
Marley was already alive in the 80s.
Yeah, and cocaine was getting hot and heavy thanks to the good old CIA.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, like, what do you fucking think? Like, if you're like a Central Agent type beat and you're sitting there and you're like thinking about going to war, what do Central Agents do during like World War III? Like, what the fuck is the CIA going to do? Do you think they like just invade too? They're just like, well, they're technically...
They probably do some real like smart counterintelligence shit.
Okay, but if you're like a network analysis and you're
like
studying
if the American government needs to find a Russian...
let's say you're an accountant for the military, right? But you're doing like into like Syria and you're watching like North Dakota's bank accounts for the military or some shit, right? That guy gets sent because he's enlisted first, right?
Yeah.
All the people that are enlisted, active military duty or not, right? Those people kind of get sent first. They're like, because they're already trained. They're like, this is the best of best.
Yeah.
There's 28-year-olds in the military that already have like 3-4 years experience, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing about war is when they do a draft, their thing is those guys are already dead. So now we got to send the shit, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what like, you know, they're like, okay, listen, if we send like 60,000 of the guys we sent training for 3 months, we can send 10,000 of the guys we trained for 2 years. Maybe those guys can handle what the fuck ups did, you know?
Yeah.
Let's just give these guys like pistols, you know?
Yeah.
Give that guy a squirt gun.
You get a pistol and a Bowie knife, and that's it.
Dude.
A Swiss Army knife.
Oh, yeah. And you got to take turns sharing the knife, though.
Yeah.
No, it's all right, man. You could do that. I mean, like, you ever hear what they, like, this was a real thing. Like, there would be, like, rat tunnels in Vietnam where they would send down, like, soldiers to go down in these, like, little fucking tunnels the Vietnamese would make in the jungle. So they'd take the smallest dude, and it was usually, like, an immigrant, right? I know.
I'm sorry.
It's fucked up, but they give him, like, a fucking knife or a pistol and then make him go down a little fucking probably booby-trapped Vietnam tunnel and then come back and, like, you know, or, like, kill everybody and come back. Mm-hmm. Usually it was, like, a poor immigrant, like, because it was, like, you know, especially if you were any kind of like Asian at that point in time.
You were just smaller.
Well, no, that's the thing. If you looked like a Vietnamese person, you were against the hate, right? Same thing during World War II, right? We don't talk about this shit, right? America put a bunch of Chinese, took thousands of American families, Chinese families, and put them in concentration camps.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't talk about that shit.
Yeah.
And you know why we did it? So there wouldn't be spies. Okay, from a war perspective, right? Really smart. From a
moral standpoint,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Up.
Yeah. Do you know how many fucking different cultures there are in from when I say Asian, right? I probably pissed off a shit ton of load of other people there because they don't fall
Asian's
under
such
the
a
term.
broad category.
Exactly. When people say I'm white, right? Think of how many other fucking palatones of white there are, right?
There is a lot.
There's that fucking, see-through collar, like our buddy Steve, and then there's, Joe, the white guy, he mows his lawn a little bit, wears khakis, little brown, There's different tiers of white.
Yeah. And with that being said, I think we're going to wrap up this episode.
Yeah, it's been a
so
eventful.
In short, Russia's, making moves.
World War III
on the rise.
New COD ideas right there. Any video game company right now is going to make bank in 5 years after this shit gets done.
Yes, that is facts. All right, well, as always, be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube, but if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thanks. You can't really do much over there, but
check out our Instagram.
Yeah, check out our Instagram
YouTube.
at dnt.tv.
Ooh.
And so, once again, thanks for listening. And
thanks
this
for
is
watching.
D.
This is T.
And we will see you guys next time.
See you guys.
Peace.